of the freedom of speech,
The other side of the non-disclosure agreements, the agreements.
Another episode of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. I'm your brother O-God from Hip Hop News Uncensored, and sitting across from me is my co-host.
What up, yo? It's your man Sam Ant, CEO of Viral Hip Hop News, and you're in the building for a very special edition of the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Back for round two, we have the author of The House of Lazenberry. Had a great interview with this brother a couple months ago now.
Yeah.
Mr. Daniel Webb's back on the podcast. How you doing today, brother?
What's up, brothers? I'm great, man. Glad to be back.
Glad to have you back, man. We had a great conversation, and it did very well. And a lot of people were very interested into your story, man. It did, like, we were interested as we were listening, man. And you hit us back, and you said you had some other things to say.
Yeah.
A avid listener of hip hop, a student of hip hop. Your books, although aren't hip hop based, they have a lot of hip hop elements to it. In particular, The House of Lazenberry, A Time to Heal, man. We went into depth about, in particular, a chapter called The Rapper.
Yeah.
Before we get into all that, man, how you doing? Get to the audience, let the people know how you feeling, man. Talk about the verses, and let's get into the book, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm feeling great. Because of y'all, sales been going up.
Good.
The views are crazy. It's like for a first time on doing this, it's like, hey, I'm ecstatic on this, man. It can't get no better.
That's what's up.
Can't get no better.
Definitely excited, man, to have you on. Such a great, incredible story. I didn't hear too much about you, but doing an interview, got to learn about you. It was probably one of our top interviews that we done, honestly. You know what I mean, as far as interest and everything. But talk to us about the KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane battle and what that meant for hip hop.
Before I came here, like a week before, I was contemplating what I'm going to talk about. I knew I was going to talk about that chapter, but this was like perfect. It's like the universe lined up in that KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane battle, Kane versus Kane. I want to say this. I'm going to sound real controversial. Yeah, the new cats, if you under 30, man, and you claim to be an MC, sit down, because they just proved they're going to bring the 90s, 80s and 90s rap back. It's everything's coming full circle again. These kids, they all sound the same. If you 40 and over, you know what real hip hop is. I'm not a rapper, I'm not an MC, but I'm an avid fan of hip hop, and I'm a consumer, so I have the right to put my 2 cents in.
Let me ask you this, OG, real quick, because although I know that show was probably electric yesterday, I didn't get to see it. I know, you didn't get to see it. But for the fan of Big Daddy Kane, for the fan of KRS-One, I'm sure it brought back some memories and the shit was on fire.
My childhood, man.
Is it the emotion of it that's kind of feeding you into saying that, or because do the numbers reflect what you're saying?
Yeah.
If you're telling me the numbers were through the roof and it did millions of views and stuff, then I hear you, man. The 80s and 90s are coming back, because I agree with you. But we know what the agenda and what they're pushing now, and we know what them two brothers represented. So do you think it was just a pure emotion of seeing them two, or do you genuinely think, based off of that versus, that they have a genuine chance of coming back and bringing that sound back?
It's a combination of both. They sound still rings bells to this day, 30 years later. It still is poignant to this day. And when they get on the mic, these MCs, after 30 something years, everybody knows their verses, everybody knows their words, their bars. They don't even have to sing half this stuff. They like put the mic out in the audience, and everybody else is doing it. And it's like another thing about the old hip, the 90s and 80s. It's like dudes didn't do stuff to get too much attention. The reason why I say that, because when you mention your top 5, everybody mentions your top 5. Who's always up there? Rakim. Number 1. You know why not just Rakim is a great MC, it's the mystery. He puts out his albums, he's not promoting his music or doing a concert, you don't hear from him. In no contrary, he got caught with a gun. His baby mama, they had a fight with his baby mama. He dyed his hair peach blonde, or he got a diamond stuck in his forehead. None of that silly just to get extra attention. If you're an MC, this is my opinion. If you're an MC, let your words, all you need is a microphone, a DJ, and your words. All that other extra trying to get attention and maybe I'm an old timer. getting your hair bleached, bleaching your skin, getting your face tatted up with 1,000 tattoos just to get his head, acting tough. And another thing, their performance is raw, is just straight to the point. KRS-One, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, those guys, they don't need 100. Can I say the N-word? They don't need 100 niggas standing there with no purpose, just flexing like they gonna fight somebody. When they did the verses last night, it was them, the mic, and the DJ. And whoever they brought on as a special guest performed. They had break dances. Everybody that came on that stage had a purpose. All these, nobody coming and taking off their shirt trying to show you how many times they went to the gym and you know how many, they're walking around look like Jada Kiss and Dipset. That was a circus. That wasn't even a versus.
Whoa. What makes you say that?
That's our era, bro. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
No, Jada Kiss brought it back to our way.
Okay.
Because he was serious about it. You could see it. You know.
Right.
I you know what? I'm a Dipset fan, but they lost some points with me. It was clowning. They was like clown.
Yeah.
You know, a beach chick. What do you need a beach chick? What do you need 100 niggas standing behind you for? What they rap?
Right.
You got to pay all them niggas to stand on that stage.
Right.
It's a business, man.
Right.
MC is a culture. It's more than just music and you know, background dances and all that. Yeah, all that background dances, all that. You know, 100 niggas and flashing and controversy and all that stuff. And and a real MC, like I say it again, Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, those types, they stuck to the script. They didn't do any reality shows, no love in this and no love in that. You know what I'm saying? Well, you need a reality show if you're an MC. You telling us you're talented, your talent is going down, it's plummeting. You know what I'm saying? They all they need is a mic, all they need is a DJ and them in a crowd. And that's basically it. And going pertaining to my books, it's like, and if people out there don't know, New Jersey, the state of New Jersey has 21 counties. And the protagonist / antagonist, Eddie Lassberry, runs all New Jersey drugs, all illegal narcotics. And he has 5 generals that work under him. Okay. One of his generals runs just Essex County because it's the most lucrative out of all the counties. And what he did, I'm going to spoil a little bit. What he did was he got word that a rapper, some gangster, so-called gangster rapper, was shooting a video in his area. So, but the thing is, drug dealers get it mixed up when they think they're gangsters. There's a difference. A drug dealer is just a hustler, pushing legal stuff. A gangster is a whole thing. So he stepped out of bounds and intruded on the rap video and made a punk out of the rapper who's supposed to be this known gangster rapper. He showed his true colors. And what happened was the general, I'm not going to mention his name, that worked for Eddie Lassberry, had no idea that the national agreement, the Cabal I was talking about in the first interview, they run Hollywood and the music industry. That was under their belt. So they found out he stepped out of bounds. So he had in a way he has an answer for that.
Now, keep going if you want, but I got a question for you.
No, go ahead.
My first question will be: do you have any plans on turning this into like a movie or something like that?
I want a TV series. There's too much story for 2 hours.
Right.
If like now they got BMF and they got Wu-Tang American Saga. Wu-Tang American Saga. That inspired me to want to keep on doing this.
Okay.
You know, like you ain't gonna get cats like Wu-Tang anymore.
That's a fact.
Because you know, there's a certain groups out there, I thought they were real deal, but I think the door opened, the man got to them, and some people want to wear dresses now. Yeah. I'm not, if you came in a game like that, I don't condone that life, but if you came in a game like that, that's your thing. But if they change you, your career is short-lived. And I believe in one way it's short-lived. This is one thing I saw. I don't know if y'all know the R&B singer Shaka Khan.
Of course.
Okay, they did an interview with her, and she said her manager at one time told her, "You're worth more dead than alive."
Wow, I believe it though.
And what I see, it was an epidemic of young rappers just dying, getting shot. Now I'm gonna go in my conspiracy theory bag
I see where
again.
you're going. I see.
You know,
Yeah.
you say it's a gang related or whatever. Who makes out more for this kid to die? Not his enemies on the street, the people that made money off of him. You know what I'm saying? I don't really believe in the word independent, because you actually need Spotify, YouTube. You know, you're not really independent. You're not just under a label.
Right.
And they say, well, this kid's worth more gone. And I believe that is higher ups that's not even on the streets that did these young men in. So
that kind of goes into my next question. I was getting ready to ask you how you talk about like the cabal and the story and people, how they run the music industry and other parts of it. You actually believe this stuff in real life, but you're putting it in a book. So you're pretty much saying like that if, let's say a T.I. or the Baby crosses the line and upset somebody, they could be, put false cases on or even killed. That what you're pretty much saying?
Yeah, they can go that far.
Okay.
Well, you see, T.I. and Tiny had someone left me a comment after I did my first interview with y'all. Okay. Somebody left a comment and said they said put T.I. and Tiny.
Wow.
They put it. They like, okay, because now it went away.
Oh really?
You don't hear no more about it.
Yeah, true.
You know what I'm saying? Or they behave themselves. And with the gun charges, oh boy, getting what less, average dude like us, we get caught with firearms that matter.
15, 20 years,
he got out in a year.
It's a lot of rappers that happens too, though.
Yeah, so who gets him out of jail? Who's friends with the judge? Who's friends with the prosecutor? Who's friends with the court itself? Who has that power to say, "Come on, we get you out"? You know what I'm saying? So basically, I'm saying is, these young rappers, the powers that be see that most of them are nothing but one-hit wonders, because they all sound the same basically. You don't get no originals anymore. And I hate to say it, he sound good. Pop Smoke, all of them guys. But you could tell that one-hit wonders. If you've been around hip hop a long time, you could tell who's gonna last and who's gonna stand the test of time. I got another kid. Even our female rappers. We need to bring back Roxanne Shante. We need to bring back MC Light, Queen Latifah, because their songs stand the test of time. Okay, you got the Cardi B. After Lil' Kim with the stripper thing coming out and everybody wants to be a stripper or represents, okay, you need a song that's going to stand the test of time, unless you're going to go into acting after that video. WAP, you know what I'm saying? Megan Thee Stallion. I want to see these young ladies, can you WAP at age 70?
Talk about it, yeah.
Can it last? Could that song? You got 10 million hits now, but can you redo that when you turn 70? When you in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, can you do that? Me personally, I don't want to see a 70-year-old, 80-year-old woman talking about WAP. I don't care how much plastic surgery she get or whatever. I don't care if it's a hologram. You know what I'm saying? If you got to make music that's going to stand the test of time. I know everything is fast paced and instant gratification, and we living in that era, but real hip hop, I'm not even talking about the other genres of music, real hip hop stands the test of time, and KRS-One and Big Daddy Kane proved that last night.
Great.
Kind of bring all of it back to your book, House of Lazenbury, A Time to Heal, chapters 37, The Rapper. I think it was page 61. Started on page 61. Bring it all full circle. You talk about hip hop now. You talk about how hip-hop had this way of exposing itself on the rappers that it portrays to be one way, really not being the way that they are.
Yeah.
Is it safe to say that you in this chapter, and I don't know when you wrote this exactly, but are exposing hip-hop in a certain way? Like, is this your way to go new age rap? Or I've seen the mirror and the veil over the bullshit. I know what's going on. Yeah. And this is my way to kind of go in character. It's bullshit, and I'm telling y'all it's bullshit.
Basically, yeah, because I think I'm hearing this from other old artists. I'm gonna say it right now. I heard Ghostface Killah saying on an interview on YouTube from Wu-Tang. He said most of your rappers ain't who they say they claim to be. Now I know Wu-Tang the real deal. They came from the bottom.
Right.
They know they ain't phony. They the real deal. You know what I'm saying? And there's very few rappers are like that. Some went to Julie. I'm gonna even say this. I'm gonna go out at the Tupac thing. He was a better revolutionary than a hip hop artist to me. He came from a school of the arts with Jada Pinkett and all them other. You know, he was transformed by the industry to be this quote unquote thug.
Yeah.
So you know, he was made. He wasn't. There's two kinds of rappers, and this is my phrase I'm gonna make up. It's like when you go to a supermarket and you go to the fish area, you see the salmon. You say wild caught or farm raised.
Yeah.
Tupac was farm raised. No matter how rebellious he sounded, he was farm raised because he wasn't a thug. He was a performer. Wu-Tang are wild caught. They came from the street. They started from the bottom. They came from obscurity.
Right.
You know, they didn't have any like real connections. If you want to call RZA and Jizza connections, but they had to scrape the bottom before they could bring their whole clan in. Do you have? I even say, like I'm gonna say this. Griselda, I thought they was wild caught, but they doing some side the dresses and with Conway the Machine coming out the skirt. You know what I'm saying? They still got dope music, but I think somebody's putting their hands on them to make them be something they're not. You know, I don't know too much about Buffalo, New York, but I hear it's
pretty rugged. Yeah, it's rugged.
Yeah, so but he didn't come in like that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I know West Side Gun got the fashion thing, but they didn't come in like that. And I think some cats that's up in the game are trying to change them and reform them. And I hope it's not true. So, yeah,
that's
but
a good point.
the biggest farm raised was Tekashi. You know,
talk about it. Yeah.
You know, the wild hair, the 1,000 tattoos on the face, and he said himself he can't fight. But a lot of people went to jail and got their lives messed up because of him being something he's not. Because if I'm not mistaken, he was in the rock and heavy metal type stuff before he went to hip hop. Right. So it comes if you ain't real, if you a real dude like Wu-Tang, real cats like that, you're gonna stay who you are. These guys 50 years old and still ain't changed. They matured, of course, but they ain't up there putting on those dresses, bleaching their hair, bleaching their skin, trying to be something they not, or kissing somebody in public. And come on, man, if that's your, like I said, if that's your thing, God bless you. But if it ain't you, that means they made you. That means they be able to break you.
Let's go deeper into this Cabal thing. Let's talk about somebody like Jay-Z. We talk about him a lot. Are there anybody that's exempt? Anybody that has enough power to exempt themselves from the Cabal, the whole thing, or does it come down to, pretty much everybody that's in the industry somehow, some way, is underneath this whatever we call it?
If my take on it is, if you want to play the game, you got it whatever level you are. Well, some cats, they get out of it. They did that one record deal and they like, this ain't for me. You have guys in there you never heard of say, I had a record deal with such and such album, with such and such label, with such and such label. I didn't like what was going on. Somebody wanted to sleep with me. Somebody wanted to kiss me. Somebody wanted to do that. That's what they say. And that's why you don't know about these cats. But the other cats, like, not even in a sexual way, I think it's other like crimes they had to commit or do dirt behind the scenes in order to keep that, that flow going. So, because ain't nobody gonna give you, I say this, not just for hip hop, for music, for any other form of entertainment. Ain't nobody gonna give you millions of dollars to a supermodel just because she's pretty.
Right.
Ain't nobody gonna give you millions of dollars just because you can rap or you can play the piano or you can dance or whatever.
Right.
It's other things they want behind that. You know what I'm saying? Or even play sports. You know what I'm saying? Now, like the kid that's been benched or taken off because he didn't want to take the jab. Kyrie. Yeah. So we'll see what happens then. But I think they trying to bend them and fold them.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: rappers like YoungBoy, who else is in Pooh Shiesty? We talked about even a rapper like Lil Durk. you talked about committing crimes and things like that, and then obviously the overall agenda of them being more profitable dead than alive. Would you even put like those young boys in a box? Because they're obviously products of their environment, and they're living how their environment kind of raised them to live, and some of them can't separate the business from their environment. But are you saying that once they get into the game, they're being encouraged to do it more by higher ups?
They're doing things against their moral character, their moral judgment. I ain't say they probably go out and kill somebody, but they're doing something they can't look themselves in the mirror, you know, at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And far as guys like all the littles, you know, it's like as far as that thing, they got A&R guys, if they're in the business, to teach you how to act and be in public, you know what I'm saying? Teach you what questions to ask when you're being interviewed or answer to be interviewed. So it's they're groomed, they're being groomed. So it's all them being out in the street and always in a gunfight or getting caught doing this and that. Like, come on, that's publicity, because you know your raps are good, but you know, is it selling? Controversy sells. That's basically what it is. Oh, such and such, they ran up in his house.
Yeah.
Gated community, huh?
Yeah, like
wow.
Dirk, like Little Dirk joint.
Yeah. You can spend millions of dollars on security and all these high-tech stuff to keep all that out. They ran up in your house. It's questionable to me. I ain't saying he's lying, and I ain't saying he's telling the truth. It's just questionable.
Yeah, great points. You make great points.
We spend hundreds on security, and we feel safe as a motherfucker in here right now. Hundreds of thousands. You know what I'm
imagine what he's spending. You know, it's like it's controversy sells. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So let's kind of bring this all full circle, man. Author of The House of Lazenberry. You got 3 incredible books here. Obviously, this is important information because we know how hip hop runs the culture.
Yeah.
We know how the culture is influenced by hip hop. Mm-hmm. And we also know that a lot of us don't fucking read, unfortunately. Yeah. But it's a lot of food within this, man. So talk about what's next. You talked about a series. Will there be more books? What's next for Daniel Webb in The House of Lazenberry?
Well, I can't control the being a series part. That's only somebody come with me who wants to finance me. I'm with it. All I ask is, I'm not greedy. I just want to be a consultant because these are my babies. You know what I'm saying? Right. I don't want anybody to take my kids from me. Just work with me. And far as a spinoff, there is a spinoff in the works of the book. And I'll give one spoiler. His name is Terrence Haggerty. I don't know if y'all read about him in the book, the copies I gave you, but and the cover alone is controversial, but it fits for this time. You know, it's not our cup of tea, but it'll fit in right. You know, before it's time. I'm gonna send y'all an email so y'all can see it, but you know, it's between us. So the cover alone, and this character Terrence Haggerty, he's the source of why all this is going on in these books.
Definitely appreciate your time. We got the brother Daniel Webb, author of The House of Lazenberry on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. Always appreciate your time, brother. Yeah, go ahead, do you think?
I got one more thing. I don't want to see my favorite rappers on Dancing with the Stars, on Love and Hip Hop. None of that. Wu-Tang forever. KRS-One's the blast master. Big Daddy Kane is the man. That's it.
One last question for you. Your next verses, if you can ideally see any 2 MCs get up there and do what you saw last night, who would it be and why?
Okay. I wanted to see Rakim and Big Daddy Kane go at it.
Everybody.
And I wanted to see the Jizza from the Wu-Tang go with KRS-One. That'll make people nosebleed because that's too much knowledge in one spot. I would say, wow. After last night, it's like, it's nothing that could top that. I have to leave that alone right now.
All right, he's going to leave it alone right now. But we're going to get back to him. Definitely appreciate your time, brother. As always, you're more than welcome to come on anytime. Go grab the books, the 3 House of Lazenberry series, The House of Lazenberry, House of Lazenberry, 1970H, and The House of Lazenberry, A Time to Heal. Before we get out of here, let them know where they can find it.
You can find me at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Archway Publishing, ARCHWAY Publishing. And if you want to send me an email, if anybody out there interested, anybody can help me finance into a television series, know any big wigs on TV like Hulu or HBO Max or whatever. My website is not my website. My email address is Edgar D as in David GARWEBB47 at outlook.com.
Let them know the Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast
Yeah.
sent you, man. We taking 3% off of that. Hip Hop Uncensored Podcast anyway with a podcast. Salute, bro.
Brothers.
No doubt. Thank you, man. Great interview.
Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop, hip
Bars is back.
hip hop,
Sam
hip
Ant.
hop,
Oh God.
hop,
What's
hip
up with you?
hop.
I done watched them niggas do interview after interview. They not culture vultures. The culture something they been into. So if you never gave them a view, I recommend you do. Cause when they question guests, they message is not subliminal. It don't matter if you a rookie.